Hello and welcome to Transfer Case. I'm your host Matt, and today we're joined by our car guru guest Cole, who will show us how to paint like a pro. Welcome, Cole.
Hey, how's it going today? So I'm gonna teach you guys about how to prep and paint metal and how to actually save your metal from roaching out in the wonderful.
So what do you got there?
So we have, this is about what you're gonna be starting out with, right around there. So this is actually a grill off an old tractor, but that's what I could find.
Sure.
So this is what you're gonna be starting out with. I mean, it's pretty. This is about pretty dang close to roaching out. So you.
What does roaching out mean?
Basically, when metal's beyond repair,
Okay.
beyond reusing the metal itself. So I'll take you to the next step. When you might think, this surface might be okay right here, but it's got some pitting on it, and you don't really want any pitting. I mean, if you paint over this surface right now as it is, you'll be getting you'll paint a lift off right on these rust spots, and it won't look all that nice. So that's what you don't want yet, even though you think it might be okay. So you bring it to the next step when the metal is nice and clean, it doesn't got any brown rust spots on it. And then when it's past this, well, when it's at this stage, then you're looking pretty good for paint. So when you paint, you don't paint right away. You got to lay down a base coat of primer, red coat primer, gray coat primer. I mean, you're good.
Sure.
So for the primer, you just got to make sure it says rust tough or zinc additive or.
You don't want rust weak.
No, you don't want rust weak.
Yeah.
You paint and be lifting an orange peeling. So I use this great stuff called Krylon Rust Tough. Right here, it can be bought in any Advanced Auto Parts. That's where I work, obviously.
All right, this is turning into like the QVC of car shows. I like this.
I am a salesman, so.
Yeah. All right.
So when you got it, evenly coated a primer, you don't really want any. You got to make sure you don't got any drips or runs or anything like that in your paint. Otherwise, well, then you got to go all the way back to about this stage if you got any paints or runs in your paint. So when you got it primed, after that, you evenly coat with your last final coat of black paint or whatever color you want to choose from. You also have to make sure, you don't. This isn't a very good paint job for myself, but I did it quick. So then you want to, you got to do a couple coats at least over the primer. So it's when you paint, obviously, you don't want any orange peel. Orange peel is when the paint starts to lift off or you got any ripples or something like that. You obviously don't want that because when water gets underneath your orange peel or your cracks or something like that in your paint, well, then you have to go back to the step right here, then redo it all.
Sure. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, you don't want to repaint. You don't want to waste money on paint. A can of paint's about $7.57. So I mean, it's not cheap stuff.
Sure.
So when you get it right about here, you really want to make sure that you do at least 2 coats.
Mm-hmm.
The first coat's basically kind of covering up the color, but then the second coat is really, you got to pay attention to detail itself. I am kind of picky on my paint myself, so yeah. Just evenly coat it, 2 to 3 times, and you should be good.
All
on
right.
your paint.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Cole, for joining us today on Transfer Case, and thanks for watching. Tune in next time where we will learn how to repair rockers and cab corners. I'm your host, Matt. See you soon. Oh, just